Hey geeks, this is Minx, and it's time for another Game of Thrones review! It is finally back, thankfully. I am so excited. There's probably going to be spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's totally worth it. The episode was awesome, especially given that it was very much a setup episode, to set up the various factions before the real game starts. But oh my god, it was so good. So good. All I have to say is Arya is a badass. We got her impersonating Walder Frey and killing off all of his men and anyone who had anything to do with the Red Wedding just got poisoned to death. Best line of the episode is her pulling off the mask and going, you know, winter has come. Tell them winter has come. Totally just cold and badass. We had later on in the episode, also with Arya, we had Ed Sheeran show up as a Lannister soldier. That was something I wasn't expecting. I don't remember reading anything about that he was going to be making an appearance. But I was just like, holy shit, that's Ed Sheeran. Pretty cool. Also a nice scene because it kind of humanized some of the typical Lannister soldiers instead of them being evil and something that Arya needed to kill. Really humanized them, talking about their families and their backgrounds and stuff like that. So hopefully she didn't kill them all off, because she was noting where their weapons were and just being very alert to her surroundings. We have the Hound scrying, flame scrying, and seeing the coming of the dead, the Night's King and all that. So that was different. We had a nod to the gravedigger theory as he dug a grave for the dead man and his child, whom him and Arya had passed when they were riding together a few seasons back. So that was crazy. We got let's see, what do we got? We got Sansa kind of interrupting and undermining Jon as he's trying to lead another meeting of all of the heads of houses and whatnot. They're going to agree to disagree on that bit. But Sansa has a point. He's got to be smarter than both Robb and Ned, because they both got killed because of mistakes that they made, and she doesn't want to see the same thing happen to Jon. So there's that. We have Bran and Mira make it to the wall and under the wall. Bran using a little bit of his three-eyed raven wargingness to confirm to Ed that, I've seen the Army of the Dead. I know what's coming, So let them in. See, my main question about that, though, everybody, is the mark that he got from the Night's King that allowed the Night's King and the rest of the Whites to invade the magical tree that he was hiding in with Brennan Rivers. Is that going to be the magic that takes down the wall or allows the bad guys to pretty much get past the wall? I hope not. But I feel like that's a loophole that needs to be, sewn up or explored or explained away in some way. During the meeting, you got Lyanna Mormont being my hero once again and standing up to the old farts and just being like, I'm not going to be sitting here, sewing and shit. I plan to take up arms just like, just like it's suggested by Jon when he says, women and children need to learn how to fight too. you know, because, you know, it's going to take all of us to hold back the dead. I love Lyanna Mormont. I think her and Arya would make the best of friends. She is just such a little powerhouse. I absolutely adored it. Um, we had some scenes in King's Landing with Cersei and her brother Jaime looking at a giant map that was being painted of all of Westeros, talking about all the different armies that they're gonna have to go up against, and the fact that it's just the two of them now, and that they have to fight, you know, and that she's not gonna let go of the crown, and all this other BS. That scene to me was kind of boring, but you know, it's a setup scene. The scene later when Euron Greyjoy comes and drops off his marriage proposal looking very rock starish in his outfit. And she denies his proposal, but he says, I know how to woo a woman. I'll, you know, come back with the perfect gift, which I'm willing to bet is Dragon Binder, the horn that supposedly controls dragons. I'm willing to bet that that's the gift that we're gonna see. I liked the back and forth between him and Jaime. Him making fun of Jaime for only having one hand and such, and things. Last thing I'm going to talk about is probably my least favorite scene, because it was really gross and disgusting, which was the poop montage with poor poor him. Oh my god. The poop montage was the worst. It was so gross, and it made me feel so sorry. So sorry for Sam. That poor bastard. Like, this is not what I signed up for. I signed up to learn things and read books. But the fact that he found out about the dragon glass and that, you know, there's a shit ton on Dragonstone, was pretty good timing. And then, of course, ending things with Dany finally touching down on Dragonstone. I loved the moment when she put her hand down against the sand. That's kind of an I'm home moment. I don't know how else to explain that. It's just like when I visit Southern California and I go to Anaheim, which is where I was born, you know, there's just something in the air down there that just gives me a sense of I'm home. And that's what I equated this particular moment to be for her. And then to watch her walk through the grounds and see the throne-like chair, and then walk right past it and go to the main thing that makes Dragonstone so badass, which is a table that is the outline of all of Westeros. And for her to just be like, you know, let's begin. You know, like, let's get the show on the road. Let's do it. Let's plan this shit out. Overall, I'm going to give this episode an A-. It was wonderfully done. For a setup episode, it hit all the points that it needed to, and it gave us a little bit extra. I can't wait for episode 2. And I'll see you guys next week for that. As always, thanks for watching. Later.